Now get up, you rogue.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the Scotty YouTube channel. Today I'm doing something slightly different. Usually on this channel I try to complete the games I talk about, but today I must admit that I have not completed this game, or not even really got anywhere near. Today I wanted to talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance, the best game I'll probably never finish, and this is coming a week after the release of its sequel, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. This likely won't be as long a video as some of my others, but I just wanted to cover what I already love about this game after limited time on my playthrough, as well as the reason I feel it's likely I will not ever complete it. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Before we get started on what I love and hate, I just wanted to give a quick summary about what the game is about in case you have never played it either. And although I've only played it for a short time, hopefully this will give you some kind of information about what it's about. So Kingdom Come Deliverance was released in 2018. It's a role-playing game, RPG, and it's set in medieval kingdom of Bohemia. This is a kingdom that is under the Holy Roman Empire, and the whole focus of the game is on trying to make it as historically accurate as possible. Any of you who have played Crusader Kings will probably know about the Holy Roman Empire, but effectively it's around the sort of Czech, Hungarian, German area of Europe. The story takes place during a war in Bohemia in 1403 under King Wenceslas IV, and the Hungarian King Sigismund raid Skalitz, which is where Henry, our main character, is from. He is one of the survivors of the massacre, and he joins the service of Lord Radzig, who leads a resistance against Sigismund's invasion. Henry is trying to effectively pursue justice for his murdered family and friends, and he becomes involved in an effort to restore Bohemia's rightful king. Ultimately, it's an incredibly open world with unique fast travel, combat, and gameplay mechanics. This game has so much to love about it. What I've enjoyed most so far is the unique gameplay, particularly the combat. A lot of the start of the game involves teaching you the game mechanics, particularly the combat ones, as mastery of these feels pretty critical to not getting a game over. You'll need to defend yourself often, and alternative routes are not always easy to achieve. It's not an easy set of combat mechanics to get to grips with, and this adds to the game challenge. I came in as a player who knew very little about the game apart from the setting. I do think over time you get used to it, but it isn't easy. I eventually managed to get the hang of the bow and arrow while hunting, but it took a long time to get used to. The game also plunges you in and does well to disguise the tutorial as the start of the game, and has what seems to be an interesting story with early tragedy. As a history fan, I'm genuinely very intrigued by the game. It makes me want to play it more, and I also enjoy the main character Henry, who is honestly a complete dumbass, but he is strangely lovable. I am, in a way, invested in the story and his desire for revenge. I think Henry as a character is also a really interesting metaphor for how difficult the game is. Henry as a character is completely useless, and that is reflected in how tough it is to progress in the game, particularly this early on. Some of the interactions he has are also hilarious. I mean, as an example, early on in the game you get to throw shit at someone's house. I think the style of the game is very unique too. It's interesting, it's enjoyable, but it's nothing to write home about, but it's pretty good. I think this is something that hopefully will have been greatly improved in the release of the sequel last week. The voice acting itself isn't all that great, but it has its charm. I think it's interesting that they went with a wide range of accents for the voice actors with not much consistency. But from what I can see, this game has gathered some very loyal fans, and it's easy to see why. The game is fun, unique, and difficult, and it's often the most difficult games that gain that sort of cult following and respect. I have loved my time playing it so far, but the difficulty is definitely a gateway, and it probably requires a time sink that I don't think I have. The main reason I don't think I will ever complete this game is genuinely the difficulty. I am no more than an average gamer at best, and taking the time to master the combat and level up is just something I cannot see myself doing. It's a shame because the story already seems like something I would really enjoy, but I think it's going to be too challenging for me to progress. That, again, is nothing against the game itself. It's a very much it's not you, it's me sort of breakup with this game. As an example, I already have multiplayer games like Dota 2 that I play that provide me with a challenge. You know, a person-to-person, like player-to-player challenge. When I play single-player games, if I'm honest, what I'm looking for is an intriguing gameplay and story and something that I can use to unwind and relax, not something that's going to challenge me and make me focus even more. This game has that interesting gameplay and it has that story. And I honestly was initially hooked, but the challenge of the gameplay means that it's already been about a week since I played when writing this, and I haven't had much desire to pick it back up and give it another go. After finishing a hour-long game of Dota, it doesn't feel like something that I want to personally do. And I don't think I can be blamed for that either. I would say that in that sense as well, the uniqueness of the combat doesn't do the game any favours. It's not that easy to pick back up after a break, after being away from the game for a while. Ultimately, as I said above, this is a problem with me rather than the game. In the short time I played, I felt like I was doing a lot, but also simultaneously had no idea what was going on. Overall, I can say that this game is great, and in only a short time I can see why it has gained loyal fans, deserved a sequel, and is regarded as a great RPG. It's not the game's fault that I am not able to sink the time to complete it, but I do think it's interesting to discuss. I'd like you to let me know your thoughts on how game difficulty impacts your enjoyment of games in the comments. I would love to hear from all sides. I know I have friends who are big fans of the Souls-like games, and it will sink a lot of time into very, very challenging games and get very, very good at them. I also know others that, mostly only play multiplayer games, and some like myself who play a mixture of both, who generally prefer a bit more of a casual experience with their story games. So there's different facets in my life as well, but I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments below, so please do let me know, and I'll try to reply to as many comments as I can. As I said previously, I realise that this is a me problem. I play other games, and like I said, mostly multiplayer games, that I take as my challenge. They're my challenging games, they're the ones that make me think and tick. And I use those story games to unwind. I play them on easier difficulties for that exact reason, and if I love them, then I will play them on harder difficulties. Things like The Witcher, Mass Effect, I have gone back and played on harder difficulties because the game has earned my love already. The amount of focus required for this game meant that I couldn't really use this game to unwind. And whilst I really enjoyed playing it and I enjoyed the challenge and the story, it was never going to work. I do hope one day that I can complete this game and return to it with this channel and give it a proper review. This is a bit of a cop-out in my opinion, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy that I cannot finish it in time to review it properly here. I think this game genuinely will deserve it, as it has so many unique elements that were introduced, and I'm sure the second game picks up from there as well. Not to mention that obviously it has a very interesting setting, story, and the characters as well, which is something I've picked up in a very short time of playing, which is genuinely impressive to make that kind of impression almost with such a short amount of time. With that being said, that's all I have to say on Kingdom Come Deliverance. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and like I said, leave a comment on your thoughts on the game. If I should stick with it, then please tell me and encourage me, because that will help, and maybe I'll return to it sooner rather than later. But ultimately, please remember to be kind, and I will do my best to reply to as many comments as possible. With that said, thank you very much for watching, take care, and peace.
Captain, what the hell use are you? You stay here. Please, let me do something.